and the expansive new U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. And they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. On first down, Newton. And his first look is incomplete. Ten yards still left on second down. Second and 10, Newton again. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a third down. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Throwing on third down, Newton. And he will find his man on the outside.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Got the hand caught up in the grill of the face mask. 15-yard penalty.
So tough for a defender. You're trying so hard to make a play, and the way that these offensive guys can move around, sometimes your hand gets into the wrong place.
To throw is Newton. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant. Set, 180.
On second and 10, Newton. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Play clock winding down. Throwing is Newton. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They get 9 yards there, and they get a first down.
And fit's the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even add it.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And his first pass is incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Holding offense.
So there you go, holding by the offense, and that'll push him back.
Changes everything now as you try and figure out what your playbook has for you. Longer yardage situations, tougher to execute and pick up first downs.
Back to throw. Ertz over the middle. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
Holding offense.
So oftentimes you see defensive holding. Here it's offensive holding for the flag. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Caught right side, it's Jeffrey. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Out of the gun now on third down. Got a man and he hits him in stride. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on fourth.
That's certainly playing down a distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Now it's Newton here off the bootleg. He'll buy some time right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jonathan Bullard able to track him down for a loss of 13. And it'll bring up fourth down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Taken from just outside the 30. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Bears take over. They go play action here on first down. Finding time. He's going to loft one deep left side here. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he showed a nice little juke, but then the window quickly closed. And defensively, it's a nickel formation here on 3rd down and 9. They'll drop to throw. And Jeffrey's got it. And they're able to get this one down to the 25. A very solid gain of 27. They practiced this all week. Pretty clear it paid off there. Threw it downfield, made it look relatively easy.
And it always comes a little bit easier when you've practiced it and tuned things up and you're confident.
Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. They'll look to throw again. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, But you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence. I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They'll set up a throw. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Carlos Williams, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bears are in for 6. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, whoever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top. Of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
To throw is Newton. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Oftentimes we think of those tough yards as grinding yards that a running back has to pick up. How about the tight end there picking up the first down in that situation?
That's what he's there for, right?
Big fella, get it to him, let him fight off some people and pick up the necessary yardage.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. From the 50, Newton. Incomplete.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
2nd and 10, Newton again. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line.
He went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key first down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Larry Ridley will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. On first down, it's Newton. And a quick throw here, that's complete. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Second down now after the pass completion. And now they're in the hurry-up. Again, Newton. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. Give him 3 on the play, and that's going to bring up a third down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot. Because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. He's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put in.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. A gain of 7, and they pick up the first. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. A gain of 3, second down. Now it's Newton here off the bootleg. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Their big tight end. His second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And a little time left on the clock, so on the other side, they're thinking, gosh, we'd like to get that lead right back.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Here I am going ahead and tapping out the first half. There's still time. They've got to make a decision about what they want to do on the kickoff, where they want to let their return guy touch it.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They have to make a few...
Looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's able to get it back to the 33.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Now following the interception, here's Newton. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
To throw on second down is Newton. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. Newton on third down. And he fires one, but incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
The field goal unit's going to stay put on the sideline. They're going to go on fourth down here. Here we go on fourth. Newton. And this is caught at the 8. It's a pickup of 19 yards on the play. And the decision to go for it pays off. They've got a first and goal. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. To the air again, Newton. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Throwing again is Newton. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now.
And that one was knocked away, and I think the defender's going to be a little upset with themselves. They made the play on the football, but that one felt like a forced pass by the quarterback. Thought he had someone open. He really wasn't. Maybe an example of having too much confidence in his receiver that no matter what, I'm going to throw it to him. And that was a play made by the defense, and it could have been a bigger one.
And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
There's so much precision in an offense, especially when you're throwing the ball. And in an out route, plenty of it. How about the quarterback hitting his back foot, ball's out of his hands, receiver making his break, making his cut. He's got to time up perfectly. Not always easy to do.
Just let him a little too much.
Yeah, I remember back in the good old days, I was talking to a quarterback, and he said everything they did was on the count system. So when he took a snap, he counted in his head for certain routes, different time frames for each one, and he knew if the ball wasn't out of his hand at that point, he'd better eat it because the play was dead.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. So we've reached half. So this guy's just sitting there, right? He's got like 30 hot dogs in front of him. And what's that? Apparently we're back. Okay, so Larry's halftime show got cut off. Sorry, we were doing story time here in the booth. We are ready, though, for the third quarter. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. 8 yards to go here on second down. They isolate Jeffrey to the left side. Looking to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
This will be fielded at the 17. Stays on his feet. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And it'll be Viking football here as they take possession. We focus our attention on the Bears defense now. Now a handoff looking right. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Here's Newton now on second down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. So the second consecutive week here that he has been just a minor part of this offense. What's going on?
I think part of that is that defenses now view the tight end position as a major part of offenses. So they game plan for them. More double coverage. Sometimes they take a really good cover player and put him on the tight end as opposed to other positions. Because in the past, the tight end was really just guarded by safeties. And nowadays, it could be a safety, a corner, linebacker, could be any one of those guys, and maybe more than one of those guys to try and take him out of the game. He's struggling for the second consecutive week.
From the 50, Newton. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target. But sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
So the incomplete pass brings up second down.
Let's go. Get him. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
Back to the air, Newton on second down. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
So that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you stop the clock, and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock. It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. From the gun on 3rd down, Newton. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
And Walsh able to convert it as his kick is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So it's only 3 points on this opening drive of the third quarter. And even though that stretches out the lead, Charles, I think you'd have to consider this a win for the defense, no?
Couldn't agree more, Brandon. That offense got themselves in prime position to really open up this ball game, but the drive stalled out. And yeah, 3 points is very easy to get back in today's NFL.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
He's going to go for a big play downfield. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
After watching that play and result, I go back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator, Brandon, before the game and said, how are you going to move the ball running it against the #1 defense? He gave us no indication, didn't tip his hand at all, so we have to see how this unfolds as this game moves along.
This is taken at about the 14. Fighting him off.
Just ran right through the trash.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Cam Newton getting ready to go again on offense. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at the quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually, there's a quarterback whisperer somewhere. And what I mean by that is, whether it's an assistant coach, whether it's one of his best friends on the team, someone that can get in his ear, get with him and say, all right, my man, what do you need? What's going on here? There's always one person he can lean on. He's going to have to lean on that guy right now.
On 2nd and 10, Newton. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Eddie Goldman. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Well, it was second long. Now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up fourth down. The Vikings send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And we'll see what he can do on the return. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the offense will come back onto the field with a 1st and 10. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And this defense, and we return welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's Bears football, but they trail on the scoreboard as we get set to bring you the fourth quarter. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty simple. That route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Face mask penalty, and Charles, you were a defender. You know sometimes in the heat of the moment, it's hard to keep your hands away from that face mask.
Sometimes you just get out of position as a defender when you're trying to make a tackle, so you end up flailing away, and your hand gets into the wrong spot.
They'll drop the throw. To the right side, it's Kelsey. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 12 yards on the pickup, and the Bears are going to get a 1st.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
So 2nd down, 3 yards to go now.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15.
Holding. Offense.
So a little grabbing there, but this time it goes against the offense for holding. It's a loss of 10 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Back to throw again. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. So the offense has it 1st and 10.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone. And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked #1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bears are an extra point away from taking the lead in this game. and they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now Newton on first down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. A gain of 6 there on first.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They come out here in the I.
Let's go. And we got Mike, number 53. Ball. Hey, check 24. Check 24. Jim.
And they'll run it here. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. And they're going to speed things up here. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard. Now they'll run it on the toss. And some room to work. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers. They're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to...
Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll be taken. And now the Bears going to signal for another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
3rd and 11, 5 in the secondary now.
Nickel look. Back to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, that plays a statistic that's going to go on the defensive team stat sheet. Won't necessarily reflect in ours, right, the overall game sheet. But you and I know that they keep count on pressures, hits on quarterbacks, all those things, hoping to increase that throughout the game. And here we are in the 4th quarter, and they got a big one.
And such a close game, a very big one. Now then, it's a big kick right there to give them the lead in the fourth. But, Charles, there is still time left for a final drive.
Brandon, you know they would have liked to take the clock down just a little bit further, at least under a minute or so, but this was not over yet, especially since they just need a field goal.
The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you, and this is where...
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Back to throw. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds.
It didn't check off every box, but the most important one. Got the clock stopped, getting out of bounds. They may be a little short of the first down, but I thought that was the key.
Third down now following the completed pass. He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's got time. Great protection. Jeffrey with a catch left side. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. Oh, the lonely punter inside their own 20 figured for sure they were punting this away. They did not, and the move does not pay off.
You think someone put up the stop signal when he started to trot over the sideline? No, son. We're going to go for it here. Usually when you see a team...
Now, hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now they'll run it on the toss. Room here to run. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw two tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Muscles him off. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add three more, a little insult to injury here late in the game. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Minnesota, they move back over 500 now at 4-3. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Bears, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll get an extra week to think about it as the midseason bye might be coming at just the right time.